babe, I want to give you a very special thank you for what you are doing in your own life and how it is changing the world. I know that you are sitting in your room crying your eyes out on a lot of days because you have realized that in order to clear trauma out of your fields, that you really got to sit with your feelings and your emotions, which that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel great to experience anger and sadness and frustration and angst and grief and shame and guilt. Those are very heavy and dense. And once you start feeling them, we oftentimes have a lot of memories that are surfacing from the past. And the beautiful thing is you have learned how to become the observer of your life, where we're not so attached to them when they come up in our mind, and say, oh, hello, obviously you're here because we can clear out energy on a deeper level. It's kind of like an onion that we are pulling back layers. Get it with the crying? It is an onion and we're pulling back the layers, and we're not getting so upset with ourselves anymore that those things continuously come up, because we can see it for what it is. It's not because we are a failure. It's actually because we have really expansatory energy healing capabilities. And one of the things that you have signed up to do during this incarnation is be a leader and an example to others about how to continuously grow and evolve and show yourself love and grace along the way, even when things keep on coming up. And you know what? Which is even more amazing, you are always experiencing things right before other people do, like a large group of persons, whether that's in your personal life or in the collective. It's like, oh yeah, I was just going through that 2 or 3 weeks ago. Girl, that's a lot. we really need to be celebrating ourselves more and hyping ourselves up, because that's kind of an intensive role to take on, of I'm going to go through these really intensive processing experiences with myself so that I can clear enough of my field to be a spokesperson for others, to be a way shower, to say, oh yeah, girl, I was just going through that 2 weeks ago of my own accord. You're the one that's going in there digging around and finding that stuff, whether you're consciously doing it or not. You know, sometimes we think that it's just hitting us in the face, but it's really us that ask for that, because you can feel it down in your soul and you're like, not today, I'm coming in there to get you. And you go through this so that you can be a helping hand to others that you know are about to go through these things. And because of the places and spaces that you have been in life that were very challenging and very arduous, and you felt like you were not going to make it out, like, you know what real pain feels like. I'm talking about real despair, the darkness, the void, and how intensive it can be to crawl yourself up out of there. Because we all know that the only people that can get us up out of there is ourselves. Obviously, there's people in our lives that can support us along the way, but it really ultimately is your choice to find the light within and keep that thing lit. Some days is easier than others. But for you to be this kind of archaeologist of self, where you were Indiana Jonesing all of these, what do you call the archaeologists when they're going out on a expedition? Expedition of self. That's so amazing. The world appreciates you, even if you are not hearing that from other people directly. You have an instinctual knowing that you are a puzzle piece in the bigger puzzle, and without you, things are not going to be looking correct. Like, what is a puzzle with a missing puzzle piece? Okay, it is not complete. So you know you are a bigger part of the system, the ecosystem, if you will, not the system, like the Matrix system, the ecosystem with Mother Gaia. Okay, you know you are a part of the bigger ecosystem that keeps everything running smoothly. And then at the same time, you are the ecosystem in and of itself. We are very aware that every time we shift something within, we see that outside of us in our outer reality. You are living in your own bubble. I know it seems very immersive because of all the people and animals and plants and everything. They're all you, they're extensions. Every time that you do these processings within self, everything gets better. Literally everything. And we have seen that pattern enough that is what keeps us going on these harder processy days. It's like, yeah, this sucks right now, but tomorrow or the next day, I'm gonna be feeling on top of the world. And what an incredible lesson to interpret for self and then be able to teach others. Even if you are not teaching in a professional sense, like a practitioner or, building things like in the spiritual business, it is radiating out of your field. People really love you. I want you to think about all of the times where you have doubted yourself and think that you're weird or awkward or don't know how to communicate correctly, or you have all of these weird interactions with other people where it just feels off. Like you're conversating, but you're like, something is going on. Like, I'm just not connecting with other people. Maybe that's because you were on a whole completely different realm of existence. Okay. If you are like around your people, that doesn't happen. Okay, I'm in a testament to that. Y'all would be vibing and just get each other and not have to explain anything, and that feeling is not there, that weird feeling. Okay, that's just because you're on a completely different wavelength than most people, and you're having to shift your languaging and frequency and how you're presenting and all these things, not from like a masking place, but just a place of connectivity when you're interacting with other people. Okay, but to circle back, I want you to think about how many times in your life people come up to you, they find you. You will be trying to mind your own business. You are an observer. You like to sit in the back. We like to vibe. We're very, not that we're very quiet or introverted, but we just choose when to share our energy. And sometimes that is being in the background and watching what everybody else is doing. But people gonna find you. They are going to start conversations because you're a superstar. I know sometimes you're like, I don't want that. Okay. No. But it cannot be helped. You are radiating joy and positivity and being healed and lighting up other people's lives simply by being in your presence and listening to the wisdom and insights that you have to offer others. It is literally so life-changing. You do not even realize the amount of shifts that you create in people's lives by simply having a mini conversation with them. And then if they're even closer to you, they're going to experience so much growth and evolution. And that's why they're like, be my friend. And that's where we have to use our discernment. But we need to start looking at ourselves in the lens, because that is you. That's how other people see that you. That's why they're attracted to you. They're like, oh, you got that light on in there. Show me how to do that. And that's because of all of this time and energy that you have been investing in yourself and doing these processes. So I want to say a big congratulations to you and thank you for what you are doing, not only for self, but for the entirety of the world. So I would love to hear what your biggest takeaway was from this. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. And I'm wishing you the most magical day.